Hamilton's never won a world title when he's not been leading the championship with fewer than 6 races to go. It's lights out and away we go here. And Bottas and Hamilton getting away ahead of Verstappen and Perez, and the wheel-to-wheel the Mercedes. But what's happening behind? Perez pulls to the inside, Verstappen to the outside. They're 3 abreast at the moment, and there's 3 abreast behind them. Into turn 1 we go. Verstappen is into the lead ahead of Hamilton. Bottas gets tagged by Daniel Ricciardo. Perez goes onto the grass, and it's an all sorts of kerfuffle going on in that first corner. There's Yuki Tsunoda getting hit in the Alfa Tauri as well. Verstappen leads from Hamilton. Pierre Gasly is challenging Sergio Perez. Perez just stays ahead. Then comes the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, but it's Verstappen that leads. He got the toe, he got the slipstream, he got the lead.
And he was brave on the brake pedal, trusted he'd have enough grip when he got there, and he did. This is a nightmare start for Mercedes.
There's more contacts. There's Daniel Ricciardo getting hit, I think, by George Russell.
No front wing there on the McLaren of Ricciardo either.
And we have a safety car here, and there is Yuki Tsunoda, as I said, got hit and got caught up in the carnage going on down at turn 2. Schumacher is also out of this race. We're on board with Ricciardo, who locks up, then makes contact with Bottas. Perez dives off onto the grass, and then there's all sorts of shenanigans going on behind. Esteban Ocon, who makes contact with a Haas, and then you see the Alfa Tauri coming into shot on the left-hand side.
Well, there was just a 3 into 2 doesn't go, wasn't it?
Someone hit me in the back.
The safety car is back in the pits again, and as we start lap 5 of this Mexico City Grand Prix, Max Verstappen leads them over the line, comfortably ahead of Lewis Hamilton, ahead of Sergio Perez, Gasly, Leclerc and Giovinazzi. And you can see the dust that's being kicked up by these cars as Verstappen weaving around a bit down that straight before the braking zone into turn 1. There's a move, Antonio Giovinazzi, opportunist maybe on Carlos Sainz, who's never scored a point here in Mexico City before, and does well to hang on to that 6th place that he just pinched off the Alfa Romeo. That's why he got ahead of 2 cars and then went back down below them again, because he had to go onto the grass to avoid quite a big shunt.
And a good little shove there from Daniel Ricciardo, struggling to keep the car in play as well for good measure.
Kimi Raikkonen's going to go around the outside of George Russell into turn 1, and he does. Very nice indeed from the Alfa Romeo.
George is up to, he's in 10th now that Kimi has breezed past him. George pulls over. Unfortunately, all that's going to do is attempt Fernando to go around the outside, and he's got the grippier line.
It's a double pit stop planned for Lewis Hamilton, and it seems for Sergio Perez. I can't believe it, and I don't believe it because Red Bull have gone back in. I think Sergio was due to come in. Maybe he did the opposite of what Hamilton did. That was a clean stop for Mercedes.
2.4 seconds stationary, 22 seconds the advantage, the stationary time.
Tyres are good.
This is key for Lewis.
It's key, and it's not gone his way. Because as he came out after a decent stop, but 22 seconds he lost, there is the Ferrari right on the scene to get ahead of him.
Races can be won or lost in the pits as well. This needs to be perfect by the Red Bull boys. Front tyres off, front tyres on. Little tweak of the front wing, absolutely sweet. Very sweet. The front jackman had to get out of the way sharpish because Max was ready to go.
Into the pits he comes.
And the crowd get on their feet. They're willing him to have a good stop. They want to. He wants to. The Red Bull guys have delivered once again. Sweet stuff again. Wow, they are on form, aren't they?
Perez in clear air, finally away from the back markers. 1:19.468, new fastest lap, gap down to 6 seconds. And they're both in clear air for a little while, so we're going to get a true picture now between Hamilton and Perez.
We certainly are.
20.6 for Hamilton, that's his pace. 1.2 seconds taken out of him that lap. Gap down to 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's crazy. Can't get close. Tyres are getting hot.
Yeah, he needs to get past Lando Norris, because his tyres are getting very hot running behind the McLaren.
And Norris hasn't had any notification yet of blue flags either, so he's not obliged to jump out of the way.
And that gap is now just a few car lengths, and we're under a second going into the stadium, and now they're all on their feet. They're not just cheering, they're all on their feet. There's Valtteri Bottas into the pit, soft tyres on, they're going for the fastest lap. As round the Perotada, the 2nd and 3rd place drivers come, and Perez with DRS advantage, 12 miles an hour of extra pace down this straight. There he goes.
Okay, drain the battery, final lap, this is it.
It's now or never for Sergio Perez, and he was told a while back it's going to come down to the last lap, and it is coming down to the last lap.
So last chance then, DRS between turn 3 and 4, here we go. And then I don't see an opportunity for the rest of the lap, and Lewis is not going to make a mistake from here. And there we go, is that the lunge? It would have been a bit wild if it had been. And that, I believe, is game over.
For the third consecutive race, he's going to extend his lead in the Drivers' Championship, and for the third time here, he wins the Mexico City Grand Prix. Max Verstappen crosses the line, a long, long way clear of the rest. Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez, this has been the battle that's captured our attention for the closing stages. Checo gave it everything as Hamilton finishes second, and for the first time ever, we'll have a Mexican driver on the podium in his home race. Sergio Perez comes home to finish third, and the fastest lap goes to Valtteri Bottas. Mercedes on the last lap managed to take a point off Max Verstappen. And they've been singing Ole, 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 Checo all day long in that part of the stadium. And now the Red Bull mechanics can celebrate and sing along too. These are great scenes. Here in Mexico, it was Mexico today. Vamos Verstappen, I think they'll be shouting. Another win for Red Bull. He increases his championship lead. 4 more races to go.